Namaskar and welcome. Uh, so today in this fifth tutorial, we will be starting from where we left off in the previous tutorial 4. That was we had calculated the band structure of two-dimensional MOS2 with quantum espresso, and today we will start off from there, and we will go on to calculate the DOS, and then very importantly cube plots of charge density, electron localization function, potential with quantum espresso. So sometimes you need to show these isosurface plots as well on top of the crystal structure, and that's very useful in papers and publications. So we will show you how to do this. So basically what you need before that, first I will start off with the DOS, because in the last tutorial we had done the band structure, and to get the DOS what you need is basically you have to have an input file for DOS.x. So the program you will be running is DOS.x, and for that we already had simulated the SCF calculation, so you need the SCF input files. So these are all stored in here from the last calculation, and you see a number of other files because I have done the potential and other calculations as well, because just to save time in the tutorial I have already calculated some results, but I will show you how to calculate all these results one by one. Now for DOS it is important that you write a small script with this AND DOS card, and the prefix is basically the same directory as your SCF file. So pwscf.a, this is where the wave functions and other data of the IO of the SCF calculation from the previous run was being saved. So I have this, and this is my output file name, mos2.dos.out, and these are plotting parameters dgauss and delta E. These are plotting parameters for the DOS plot. So this is my output file where the DOS data will be written, and to run this what I will do, I'll open a terminal here, and right here I will do DOS.x. So this is the standard input for the density of states calculation on top of the SCF calculation. So first you have to have the SCF calculation. We have all the data from our previous run in the last lecture for this two-dimensional MOS2, and today we will first show the calculation of the DOS. So this is the output file name. This is the output log, not the data file. Data file had already been specified in this DOS.in, and the calculation is done. So I have this file here which I have named mos2.dos.out. You can take a look at this. It also gives the Fermi level. It writes the Fermi level in the output and the density of states. So if I want to plot it, I can use any plotting tool for the matter. Here I will show you just the output with Grace. So you type xmgrace and then the file name mos2.dos.out. So this is my output. This is the density of states output. This is how it looks like. And now we will be looking at how the cube files for quantities such as the charge density, electron localization function, and potential, all these things, how we can generate the cube files to show the isosurface plots. So for that we will prepare inputs for the program pp.x. So pp.x is the post-processing tool of Quantum Espresso, and for example I have written here the input for the calculating the charge. So it will show the charge on top of the this structure file you have, the unit cell of MOS2 in this case, and there I have this kind of a format and input pp for the post-processing tool, and plot. Two different cards are there. So prefix is pointing to the directory where my data file is stored for the SCF calculation. This is file.charge. This is a temporary file name, so this just it's like a buffer, so it will write the charge data to that file.charge, and then ultimately it goes on to plot to save the plot data in this file out. So I name this charge-density.cube. I am using a cube file, and for that the output format should be set to 6, and I have to set the axis x, y and z in terms of E1, E2 and E3, and also specify the origin of the cube plot. So origin is set to 0, 0, 0, and this is just a 3-dimensional XYZ axis, Cartesian axis. Very importantly, plot num. So plot number will decide what type of plot you will generate with the pp.x tool, and there is several possibilities are there, and for charge specifically you need to set this plot num to 0. So this flag needs to be set to 0 for computing charge. Output format 6, this will generate a Gaussian cube file. So with that in mind, we will do this pp.x, and I have named the output file input file as pp.charge, because just to know which file I am going to use for which kind of calculation. So it helps to write it like that. You can put any other name you like. So it has written this data file. Already I had these files. You can also write it in a different format, like for example if you want the XSF format for the X crystal, then you have to use a different value for the certain flags. So for that, say for example I want to write it in XSF format, so I will change this output format to 5, and this extension name I will change to XSF, and I've saved this, and if I again run this, so it will generate the XSF file format. But mostly I prefer the cube file format. It depends upon the tool you are using, visualization tool you are using. So for visualization of this isosurface plot, what I am going to do is I am going to use Avogadro. So Avogadro is a free software, and you can get this very simply in Linux by doing this command sudo apt-get install. I already have it installed, but I will just retype the command. And it will already automatically download the file and the necessary libraries associated with it, and you will get the package. So I am not going to do that over again, because I already have the program installed, and this is how the interface looks like. So I just have to go to open, I go to desktop, calculation is the folder where I have all my results, and I will open the charge density. So this is a cube file, and now you can see that I only have in my window the output structure of the MOS2. So this is the MOS2 unit cell that is showing, but basically I need the isosurface on top of that. So what I will do is I will go to this extension tab in the ribbon. So you see in Avogadro there are several tabs, so you must go to the extension and go all the way down this in the last point, there is this create surfaces under the extension tab. So go to the create surfaces, and there you will find different options. In this window will open, and from the drop down list you have to select this cube file created from PWSCF calculation, because that's where the data is stored, not the other options. There are different options, but you have to select this one, the cube file created from the PWSCF calculation. Leave the ISO value as it is, or you can change it. Just press this calculate and you will have the output. So it is showing the isosurface plots. You can try more variations. For example, to customize the plot, you scroll down on this menu, display types. You have this list, and there you can scroll down and you look at the surfaces. This is the control of the isosurface, how it looks like, how it is rendered, and you can select, click on the rinse sign. So this is showing you the settings, and there I can change the opacity using this slider. I can change the type of render to fill, points, or lines. I like the lines, so I just keep it. I can change the color of the isosurface. If there is a positive and negative both type of data involved, so you can select the color for each. If you have two different kind of data, in some cases you will have like potential, or some cases you might have this kind of two different type of data, positive and negative, and so you can select the type, customize the colors, and also the points or lines or fill. These kind of things we can do. So I can rotate it around whichever direction I like. I can zoom in or out by scrolling. So say for example I want this view and I want to export this image. I'll just go to this file, export, graphics, and I can select in PNG or JPEG, any kind of format. Let me go to desktop and save it right there. So I have successfully exported the file, and in this similar way we can render other surface plots as well. So again I go back to my input directory. So this was for charge. If I want to plot the charge, then say for example I want the potential. So what we'll do is the input file is pretty much the same. Just look at the plot number for the pp.x input file. So this is pp.pot because I am going to plot the potential. I have named it so. So what changes here from the previous file, if we just open this file for the charge, plotting the charge, and this file, apart from the output format, so I'll set the output format to cube here as well because I want the cube file. I'll save it. So this is the plot number. 0 was for charge, 11 is for potential. Similarly, if you want like electron localization function, you will put plot number 8. You can generate the output in cube or XSF, whichever format you like. So in this way I have potential, charge, I have electron localization function, all these things I can plot I can create the plots, the data for the plot, and this can be stored in the file. So this is the file out. Always remember to put the correct output file name and remember that name when you want to plot. And how to do this is, I have, say for example, I will do the potential. So I will just do pp.x, pp-plot, because I have written it in this format. This output file is basically the log file of this pp.x run and not the output data, so that has to be kept in mind. Output data is the one you specified in the cube file or the XSF file, whichever you want. And I can also open that. Here I have named it VBH plot.cube. So let me close this file, and I need to open a new window. File, open, desktop, we go to the calculation, and yes, so this is our file VBH plot. So you have put the correct file name. Same here. We go to the extensions, create the surfaces, and you see cube file created from PWSCF. And if we look at it, as I told you in the previous case, there are possibility of positive and negative both type of values, and this bicolor plot shows exactly that. Surfaces, if I want to change the colors around, so say for example I set for negative blue, for positive I say orange, and this is how it looks like. You can choose any color you want, and similarly you can just export graphics. I'll export it to desktop, and same way we can see the potential. So this is the isosurface plot. This is how it looks like, and with this we come to end of the tutorial part 5, and hope you enjoyed it, and please continue supporting the channel. Your support is very important. Like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you can keep updated, and we will be coming with more tutorials. I'll be showing you more outputs. For example, in the next tutorial we will try to show you the optical spectra, how to calculate the optical spectra, JDOS, these kind of things, and many more things to come. So thank you for your patience, thank you for being with us, and take care. Bye bye.